McLaren's latest car has sparked major controversy on the F1 grid. Rival teams are accusing them of using an illegal advantage with a flexible rear wing, allowing them to dominate races. Some are even calling for immediate action from the FIA to level the playing field. Is McLaren really bending the rules, or is this just smart engineering? McLaren has raised the standards so much that the rest of the grid is now questioning the legality of their car. Initially, suspicions were about a flexible front wing, something Red Bull and Ferrari were planning to follow after Austin. But now the focus has shifted to the rear wing of the MCL38. During the Baku race, a strange movement was spotted on Piastri's car, where the DRS flap seemed to be semi-opening under high-speed pressure. This has opened up a new round of questions. Is McLaren's car fully compliant with the regulations? And if not, is it too late for the FIA to step in? McLaren has now taken the lead in the Constructors' Championship, making it clear they are the team to beat for the rest of 2024. With 4 wins this season, fans are amazed that a team with relatively few victories is now a serious contender for both titles. The secret behind McLaren's sudden rise, their upgrades. Since Miami, McLaren's car has transformed into a championship contender. However, they've also faced setbacks in races like Spain, Canada and Silverstone, missing out on even more points. Moreover, McLaren has missed some key chances to close the gap to Max Verstappen, with Lando Norris trailing by 59 points. However, McLaren's performance in the second half of the season, especially after Zandvoort, has been unbeatable. Norris delivered a stunning victory on Verstappen's home turf, finishing 21 seconds ahead, while Piastri secured a win in Baku, successfully holding off Leclerc for 30 laps, without the help of DRS. What makes Piastri's win in Baku even more impressive is that he defended against Leclerc for 30 laps without DRS assistance. Normally, this would almost guarantee a loss, especially on the Baku circuit's long 2 kilometers straight, where having no DRS leaves you vulnerable to a pursuing car with an open DRS flap, which provides a 10 to 20 kilometers per h speed advantage. In lap 20, Piastri overtook Leclerc, and while many expected the Monegasque driver to reclaim the position within a lap, that didn't happen. Interestingly, the reason for this might lie in McLaren's rear wing design. There's compelling evidence showing how the DRS flap on the MCL38 behaves under certain conditions, particularly at high speeds. Rear wing dynamics, the key to McLaren's speed. The DRS flap, a critical part of the rear wing, is designed to reduce drag and boost speed when opened. However, there seems to be a peculiar movement on McLaren's DRS flap under high-speed pressure, raising questions about whether this unique behavior is giving them a significant advantage. This anomaly is now a point of interest, especially since Piastri's ability to defend without DRS suggests something special about McLaren's rear wing. However, in Formula 1, the DRS flap can only be opened when a car is within 1 second of the vehicle ahead. And in Oscar Piastri's case at Baku, there was no car in front, yet his DRS flap seemed to rotate once he accelerated from turn 16 onwards. A close examination reveals a significant difference in the DRS flap when it's not subjected to maximum speed versus when it is. This raises the question, does the MCL38 have a semi-DRS advantage even without a car ahead? The peculiar behavior of McLaren's DRS flap, which appears to open slightly when no other car is ahead, might explain why Charles Leclerc struggled to overtake Piastri for over 30 laps. Even with a clear top-speed advantage and a strong overall package throughout the weekend, Leclerc was unable to mount a serious challenge. This anomaly could provide insight into how McLaren's car retains its top-speed edge, despite seemingly being at a disadvantage on the straights. When comparing McLaren's rear wing flexibility to Leclerc's Ferrari, the difference becomes clear. While Leclerc's wing shows slight flexibility and movement, it's nowhere near as pronounced as the behavior seen in the MCL38. This distinct rotation and flexibility in McLaren's DRS may be providing the team with a critical edge in high-speed scenarios, contributing to their recent dominance. Not only this, even McLaren's innovative design, particularly their flexible front wing, has drawn significant attention. The upper flaps of the wing seem to move under certain conditions, which is technically against the rules. However, when the FIA investigated, they responded with ambiguity, stating that the design was currently legal. Even if it were deemed illegal, the FIA admitted they couldn't take action for the remainder of 2024. This raises the question: are McLaren's advancements merely a loophole, or have they found a way to work within the grey areas of the rulebook? If McLaren's designs are found to be exploiting a regulatory gap, we could see significant changes in 2025. But for now, they are using this loophole to their advantage. McLaren's recent dominance, despite questions of legality, has allowed them to remain competitive, with a chance of clinching one of the two championships this season. If the FIA decides to tighten the rules next year, it will serve as a clear indication that McLaren had leveraged this flexibility to boost their performance. The flexibility of McLaren's DRS flap appears to be the highest on the grid. Comparing it with Red Bull's RB20, the speed difference between an open and closed DRS is smallest in the MCL 38, which suggests that McLaren's flap flexibility might be giving them a mini DRS advantage. While not strictly illegal, this feature has enabled Piastri to defend against Charles Leclerc for an extended period, showcasing its effectiveness. What's next for Red Bull and Ferrari? The success of McLaren's flexible wings has urged both Red Bull and Ferrari to adopt similar designs. As confirmed by key figures from both teams, we are likely to see more of these flexible front wings on the RB20 and SF24 starting at the Austin Grand Prix. Red Bull and Ferrari now seem to be following the trail blazed by McLaren and even Mercedes, showing how one team's innovation can shift the balance on the grid. But Red Bull faced a similar situation last year when accused of exceeding the allowed plank wear limit, sparking debates about rule breaking. However, when the FIA introduced stricter regulations during the Belgian Grand Prix in Spa, Red Bull's dominance remained unchanged. Ironically, Mercedes, the team that initiated the accusations, saw a dip in performance, leaving them with little to show for their efforts. This parallels McLaren's current flexi-wing situation, as rival teams, including Red Bull, now question whether McLaren's rear wing adheres to the regulations. The FIA's response to McLaren's innovations will be crucial. Despite these accusations, McLaren has continued to thrive. Unlike Red Bull, Ferrari or Mercedes, who have hit roadblocks with their upgrades, McLaren has shown remarkable consistency in developing their car. Team principal Andreas Stella credits this to the team's cautious approach to upgrades and their patience in ensuring that any changes they introduce are thoroughly tested and mature enough to make a real impact on the track. McLaren's technical team has been conservative with their upgrades, introducing significant changes only when absolutely certain they will improve performance. According to Stella, the team has not made major adjustments since Miami, with only minor updates being introduced at Zandvoort. Their approach is calculated, as rushing to implement changes could lead to unforeseen issues once the car hits the track. By taking their time, McLaren ensures each development is thoroughly tested, allowing them to remain competitive. Of course, McLaren's advantage isn't solely based on strategic upgrades. Their financial position also plays a crucial role. Finishing fourth in the Constructors' Championship last year means McLaren enjoys more wind tunnel time compared to the top three teams, particularly Red Bull. Red Bull, not only restricted by the sporting penalty, also uses an outdated 70-year-old wind tunnel, while McLaren operates in a cutting-edge facility at Woking. This allows McLaren to test and refine their car far more efficiently and thoroughly, enhancing their performance in ways that Red Bull cannot currently match. Wind tunnel, a game-changer for McLaren. McLaren's new wind tunnel, combined with a technically restructured team under the leadership of senior engineers like Rob Marshall and Peter Prodromou, has given them a massive advantage. This advanced testing facility provides them the ability to experiment more effectively with their designs, specifically focusing on aerodynamic gains, like the flexible front wing and rear wing innovations. McLaren's ability to test these parts thoroughly in a state-of-the-art facility puts them ahead of rivals like Red Bull, who are limited not only by penalties, but by the constraints of their aging wind tunnel. The real question now is how other teams, particularly Red Bull and Ferrari, will react. Red Bull's Christian Horner has already hinted at implementing a more flexible front wing in the upcoming races, starting in Austin. This signals a shift in strategy, with Red Bull potentially following McLaren's path to regain their competitive edge. However, Max Verstappen himself admitted that the loss in performance isn't solely down to the flexi wing issue. According to him, the RB20's performance deficit comes from several factors that cannot be easily fixed. While McLaren's car seems ready to compete for the championship, one lingering concern is whether Lando Norris has the consistency and maturity to challenge Verstappen for the Drivers' Championship. In Baku, Norris managed to finish ahead of Verstappen, closing the gap slightly. However, his lackluster performance during qualifying could have made the gap even smaller. With all these technical innovations and potential rule bending, it remains to be seen whether the FIA will take any action. Historically, the FIA has not been entirely clear about the legality of certain aerodynamic components, and their stance on McLaren's flexible wings remains vague. This could lead to more controversies as the season progresses, especially if McLaren continues to dominate with their innovative designs. So what do you think of McLaren's illegal car? Comment below your views and subscribe for more.